Hey, it's me. We told me the guys, the five eyes that you see. And today, I just wanted to make a really quick video. Well, anything below 30 minutes is quick to me. About the Fresh and Fit podcast and how I think they might have to be a little bit careful um with how they've been like kicking girls out the studio and stuff. Now let me preface this to say that like they definitely shouldn't take no disrespect, and if chicks are messing up the whole program, kick them out, because honestly it also makes for good radio too when they do that. It kind of makes you, it gives it a not Larry David, what's his name, Howard Stern kind of feel. And the way the chicks come up on the show, it's like the Black Phillip show, except these dudes are not funny at all, which I kind of wish I, they need better jokes, like because they be talking, especially in Nigerian dude, they be talking. I'm just like, man, you guys just be sounding like y'all lecturing too much though. Like, yeah, loosen it up. But basically, they be having a lot of bimbos on the show, and that's one of the biggest flaws I think that's up with this podcast, is they focus a bit too much on the typical hoes that you would see out in the streets of Miami and stuff like that. And I'm not even on the right channel, but yeah, um, and because of that, see, the issue with that is when you talk to these kind of girls, they're going to give you bimbo like responses. They're going to be rude. They're going to interrupt. They're going to basically make whatever you're talking about into a pure argument instead of a discourse. Like one thing I always wonder is they keep trying to tell men how to interact with women, right? But they only show you the whores. They only show you the streetwalkers. They only show you these Instagram baddies and all this. These adult film stars and everything. I'm like, can you guys not find women, maybe like a corporate woman in America, okay? And then maybe can like find some women to put on the show who are housewives with their husbands present though, but like housewives, or find women who are like, I don't know, coaches. Like they need to find different varieties of women, because the issue what they're doing is they're reinforcing the idea that women are basically look like this to their viewers, because most of their viewers are guys that agree with them, and it just reinforces like all women are hoes and all women are gonna they want to be with the 90% of men and the top 10% of men, which I also think is ridiculous. I listen, if anything, it's probably the top 40% of men getting sex out here, because to say the top 10% of men when there's hundreds of millions of dudes in this country, you are literally saying it's like a couple million dudes out here. That makes no sense. Okay, that's just a lot. But anyways, yeah. So let's just look at a couple examples, like this one. Uh-oh, is my audio off? Well, that's good, because I don't want this to play. Okay, here we go. No. Jose, get her out of here, bro.
Understand. No, that's fine.
And I'm gonna escort you out too. Make sure you don't fuck up my shit.
No, I wasn't being rude.
No, you are. Now get the fuck out.
No, I didn't even.
I'm gonna tell you again.
Oh shit. That was not.
Walter, bud.
No, yeah.
My dog doesn't like her.
Yeah. No. I could tell.
I was barking at her when she came.
Yo, I don't know what she's on. Dude, that chick. I feel like she's on something.
I don't know, but.
Okay, so that was a simple example. Here's another example where things got a bit more messy. Oh, someone's doing it. Let's go here. Here we go.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Fresh Fit Podcast After Hours Edition. We got a special show for you guys tonight. Let's get into it.
100K. You guys been wild and disrespectful, so just get out. People don't want you here no more. Yo, you seriously just feel fucking.
And see, it's just like, did you just seriously? It's like, actually, for this episode, this is special. Let me go back to a couple scenes of her, because I remember her like literally screaming when she talked.
Wagwan.
Nothing there.
I believe in gender roles, and I believe in like men and women were very different, and Okay. And you asked me, and I'm giving you an answer.
Your answer sucks.
Okay.
It's true.
I didn't say your answer sucks.
Well, I'm definitely telling you yours does, because you're making us look like, as women, we are the only ones that should cook for men, which is definitely not how it should be.
So you know what the thing is, if that's the case, are you the type of man?
It doesn't have to be, but I'm saying
that's what I'm saying. Like, are you objectifying? Like, if that's the type of way, like, do you feel like men should pay all the bills in the household?
One at a time.
I stopped.
She said earlier, like 500,000
No, you can
plus.
continue asking her. I finished.
Yeah.
This conversation with me is over. You can continue asking her. I'm on for the next question.
No, the conversation's not done because
I
earlier.
mean, it can be.
No, it's not because you said earlier, oh, that's weird, and I was like, okay, so you can have your standards on a guy making this amount of money.
I am literally over this conversation. This was her conversation. I butted in, and now I'm butting out.
Now I'm butting in with you now. Okay.
I am butting out of this conversation.
Because you lost.
No, I didn't. You're just
always think everything is win-lose. See, everything with men is win-lose. You lost. Like, why can't we just be talking things through? You feel me? Like,
Chad, you want Frank Castle too? If you want.
You guys have been wild and disrespectful, so just get out. People don't want you here no more. Yo, did you seriously just spill fucking... Oh, shit.
One thing I gotta say, these dudes are smart. They basically, cause it's like, imagine like they kind of like low key, like I guess I don't know if they live in an apartment or not, but they really turn an apartment complex into a studio. You know, they don't have to go and pay for studio time and have that kind of setup. You just come in, bring the equipment here, couple G's worth of equipment, keeping it relatively low cost and everything. That utility bill probably kicking their ass, but. You know, I always I gotta say this is a great setup. You know, these dudes are smart, but and see, I always felt kind of bad for her because, like, low key. She wasn't being really disrespectful like that. I mean, she was acting like a bimbo of sorts. But see, her problem is she didn't want to leave. She kind of wanted to keep saying and be involved because I think she generally liked being on the cast. But see, people, when you get associated with some people, you know, sometimes you just gotta take that L with them. When they do some stupid shit, like most people have experienced. Their friend gets drunk and at the club starts fighting. And when people see you around with them, they ain't just gonna kick them out. They gonna kick you out, you know? Oh, never mind. I remember what she did is basically she was, cause see, basically, you know, you keep your shoes kind of at the front at the door and you know, keep your shoes off, and everybody just, you know, has their shoes off in this kind of area. You can clearly see she's got her heels on. She's kind of disrespecting that and everything. So that's why they kicked them out. But you saw how like easy, like, you know, he turned up and how aggressive that could have gotten. Again, the bimbo chick spilling the drink all on his floor and everything. You know, having to get kind of abrasive. Now let's check one more out just to drive home the point. Let's see.
Let me show you how I create engaging content.
Yeah, you thought you were gonna get me. Not me.
Locks is a master key. A lock that opens any key is a shitty lock. You could disagree though.
I just think that a lot of guys have sex with a lot of girls, and girls don't
Not
have
true.
sex with that.
Hell,
I'm telling you, 10 to 20% have.
You know what it
sex
is?
with all the girls.
It's the top percent of guys that are athletes, celebrities,
Honestly.
stars.
I've been
They
hurt
have
by
sex with all the
that.
girls.
They make that reputation where it's like guys are whores. Like they do that.
But only them though, not the rest of like. Okay, you know what's funny?
That's what it
The
is.
guy that works a 9-to-5 job, that's a regular guy, you don't see him because he's like whatever. A guy with clout, a guy that's an athlete or a celebrity, you see the guy because he's always there in your face. But that's the guy you look at, not a guy that's, you know what I'm saying, working a job.
No, but I seriously want to know where you're getting these statistics from, though.
It's okay.
It's
Okay, the
online.
statistics might be true, but that's not how
Come
it's
on.
supposed to be considered. And
Literally.
you're saying that it's right. It might be how it is, but you're not supposed to say that that's how it's supposed to be.
It's not supposed to be like that.
And see, you wonder why this dude, you know, got to kick all these dudes out. But see, this is what I'm talking about, like, why they need to, like, kind of change up the kind of chick. Because, like, sometimes they will just have straight busted chicks. These chicks are busted. she got titties, I guess, and she got a big butt. I guess most dudes would smash her. She's the finest looking one. She aight. But look at these chicks. And it's just like, you know, it's like a thin line between caring about their opinion and not. When I first watched the Freshman Fit, my biggest gripe against them was the fact that they even had so many women on so much, because I'm just like, why do you care about these women's opinions? We really shouldn't, because they're the leftover women, as replicant fish would like to say. And but then I kind of realized that that's the entertainment factor in this show, to really have these bimbos talk. And because sometimes the things that come out their mouth, you gotta laugh at it because it's ridiculous. But also at the same time, though, it's like, if you're gonna have these hoes on the show, you gotta have the expectation that they're liable to really snap and just be highly disrespectful, because they can't really take someone being forward with them. They get lied to their whole lives by everybody.
So
it is how it is, but then can't we change that? That's where we're getting.
Because
that's what we want to change.
Because I'm speaking on reality, not feelings. The reality is the top percent of guys have sex with all the girls.
And it's not like,
that's how it is.
If you really want to change it, it's not like you can change it. It's not like women can change that. Like, you feel me? Necessarily, y'all gonna like what y'all like. Y'all like attractive people. Yeah. You feel me? If you're attracted to me, you're gonna want to, whatever. If you're not attracted to that person, you're not gonna want. It's like a luck of a draw. There's not much you can do with that.
No. What's going on?
Hey, my girl.
One day.
Oh no. Okay, so before this commercial started, it is really well animated. I hate the Navy. Yeah, so we're about to see them getting kicked out now.
Oh, you first? Okay. All right.
Hey, yo, before you leave, let me get that snap, though.
Yo,
oh
go get it, bro.
Hey, yo.
And this actually, this dude actually low-key kind of speaks against what they say, because I'm pretty sure he's gonna get the snap and probably smash or some shit. But then it's like, bro, why would you do, why come on, like, she's finer than that chick. And honestly, seeing the way she looks, let's go back a little bit again.
Wait, where's her shoes? Guys, this is crazy right now. What's going on?
Nah, definitely taking this chick over that chick. She got a horrible attitude. At least this chick got she knows how to at least be quiet and at least just stay in the cut and cool it or whatever. This nigga went all full simp mode and shit. This nigga really got up and tried to get the damn Snapchat.
He's actually going for it.
Guys, this is really crazy right now.
I know.
That nigga simping anyway. But basically, yeah. So you kind of get the idea of what's going on. And actually, let me go back to that last one, because the last one actually showed how tense things could get when, like, the girl isn't really.
Anyways, who's right there? I highly recommend you take your stuff, and yeah, it's over there.
This is my fucking house, bro. Get out. Get out. Yo, this chick is crazy, bro. This chick is crazy. This chick is crazy, bro. She will not leave.
Literally. Don't tell me, bro. Because your shoe, bro, I would be happy if someone placed my shoe outside a few feet and told me to get it. Right? Oh, you know. Trey, head for her, Trey. Head for her.
That shit was funny though. That nigga's really good at her exorcism. But now, see, this is when things can get very, very scary on both parties. Mostly for the guys, because see, what happens when the woman refuses to leave and then she starts fucking up equipment? Fortunately, they got everything recorded, on screen. But let's say she fucks up some equipment and then she leaves this part and she's crazy or something, or maybe she does something over here and they go over there, and let's say also maybe they've hung out before this and everything like that. I wouldn't put it past most of these bimbos to come out with an assault or accusation against these guys, because scenarios can get like this where the girl feels extremely strongly, maybe about being on the show, possibly about, you know, being with the producer, this guy, any one of these guys, you know. And basically she embarrassed herself, and her embarrassment also led to her not wanting to, it led to like a challenge on her ego. She didn't want her ego to die. And a lot of times, you know, that's a feeling that, you know, I think people should talk about a lot, is that feeling when you feel stuck. You're highly embarrassed by what you're doing, but you don't really want to kind of give up on what you are doing because you're so embarrassed. But at the same time, you know, it's a hard feeling to describe. But you basically are in the spotlight, but you can't leave because your brain's kind of frying, and her brain's definitely fried. But these dudes be pushing some of these girls to the limits of their ego. And you saw what like her friend did, pouring out her drink and stuff. Like, that's just a microcosm. You know, how much more mad can these chicks really get? They really need to consider this, right? Because like something about like the way they run this has me feeling like any day now one of these girls is gonna try these dudes in court. And another thing too, these dudes, I wouldn't call them simps, but I would call them susceptible, because see, they're so in their mind about, you got to think about it like this, right? They keep saying that only the top 10-20% of guys have all the sex, and they consider themselves high value males, quote unquote, where the fuck that means. And basically, if you ask them, you be having sex with girls, they'd be like, yeah, right, okay. So if that's the case, and you keep bringing on these sometimes extremely fine or extremely slutty women, which makes up for not being fine, bruh, I know these dudes is gonna be hitting off some of these chicks. I don't give a fuck. I know they're gonna be hitting off some of these chicks. They can act like they gonna stop, but they love to claim that they're the percentage of guys having all the sex, and you've got the girls who you also claim are the percentage of women, which is almost all women that want to have sex with you. And they're basically making it easier because you got, not only do you have money, do you have looks, and you have game, quote unquote, but you also literally have like clout. You have the show, and you got this whole setup. Most of these women are going to be impressed, and most of these women are going to let you holler, right? So I feel like I know allegedly, I assume, but in my head I know, every now and then, at least some of these chicks, these guys is knocking off. All right. Sometimes these chicks are really fine to the point where I'm like, if I was a producer on that show, I'm getting one of the ditches. Just saying. And I feel like that's going to lead to a dangerous situation for the show where some accusations might be coming out. So who really knows? So I think I just recommend honestly that they probably you can only vet these bimbos so much, because a bimbo is a bimbo. So it's not like you could really ask them like, how was your relationship with your mother and father, because even if it was good or bad, they're fucking bimbos. But I really think they need to change up the quality of women that they have on the show, because I feel like it's kind of hypocritical, because then what the show kind of showcases, it will make some of their viewers feel like all women are just like dummies like this, and the caliber is just so low. Like, sometimes, I say most of the times, they be looking good, but it's just like, dog, man, you can't find any more interesting chicks. Because that's the thing to me too, none of these chicks are interesting. They have no kind of hobbies. They literally don't be anywhere unless it's like the same vacation spots anyone's been because of their sponsors, like Puerto Rico, Miami, LA, Las Vegas, Thailand. You know, like go find some chicks out there that are interesting to talk to, and go find regular American chicks, because you guys be giving all this advice on how to deal with these bad bitches, but where's the advice on how to deal with more normal women? And now, hey, I know what you're gonna say. Most of the normal women act like the bad bitches to a degree, but that's honestly if they're a normal bitch who also happens to be really good looking. In my experience, I found most normal girls are gonna be kind of normal. Because how much attention can we as men give most of these chicks? I mean, if they're like, besides just being online, if the chick doesn't have a social media presence, right? She's gonna get attention, yeah, online, sure, DMs and stuff, and maybe gets a catcall in person, but there's not enough men to go around for all these women, bro. Brez. There's not enough of us to go around for all these women. There's a lot of women that's really just not getting seen, not getting chose and everything, you know. Um, so like that, I feel like they gotta get some more level-headed women on this show, because if you're constantly kicking out the women on the show, it's gonna get messy at some point. It's just inevitable. You're playing a numbers game, and I know what damn, it's not Thinking Man's Templar. It's thinking the thinkers. I forgot. This is one YouTube guy. I wish I knew who he was, but he made a good point with one of the women on the show. She's like 26, 27. She's talking with this squeaky, squealy, high pitched voice, and she was a super bimbo when they were talking about OnlyFans and Kevin Samuels, and he was speaking on how like a lot of women and people, when they suffer trauma at an early age, it stops a lot of their development and their growth mentally, and it also gets represented in her voice, right? So another thing is they're bringing a lot of really damaged women and mentally unstable women onto this show, and you never know what you're gonna get with these kind of people, you know. So that's just kind of what I think about that. Otherwise, though, it's a pretty decent show. It's good for entertainment, but I personally, besides the most common sense things and the basic points, the basic differences between men and women that they bring up, I wouldn't really try to get too much education from this show unless you're trying to be like one of these guys, you know. But hopefully nobody wrecks the show. Hopefully no accusations come about. Hopefully nothing gets violent, and hopefully nobody tears down equipment and gets super disrespectful. But again, when you have a bunch of bimbos on your stuff, you never know. See you guys later.